So here, if it's very difficult, okay, so you just remember that when you talk about consecutive odd numbers, consecutive means they come one after the other. So the word consecutive, it means that they already come one after the other. It means like back to back. So when they come in consecutively, when these people come in consecutively, the example is that they come in one after the other. So consecutive really means like example, they are coming like back to back. Okay, so example, if I talk about consecutive numbers, saying things like consecutive numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a very vague example. But if I'm saying consecutive odd numbers, so let's say if I throw you the first odd number, that is 1. Now what is the next odd number that's consecutive? You can actually think about it, it's actually 3, right? 3. And the next consecutive odd number is 5. And the next consecutive odd number is 7. So if I want to have a formula for any 4 consecutive odd number, of course, first of all, I need to define, I need to have a formula, I need to have a variable, right? So we need to have at least a name or a letter that represents one of the numbers. Now the answer for this question is not unique. It depends on who you choose as your variable. Now for me, I'm just going to let the smallest number be, say, x, for example. So I'm just going to say let the smallest odd number be, okay, just this stands for number, be x. Now the next odd number, right, because you know 1 followed by 3, right? What's the difference between every odd number consecutive? It's actually a difference of 2. Like for example, if you see 1 to 3 to 5, there's a difference of plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, right? So it's a difference of plus 2. Okay, you can't see here, but let me just write plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So very simple, right? Okay, I mean talk about the consecutive odd number, and if I let it be x, right, you can see that the next number will basically be x plus 2. Alright, so take a while to understand this. If we think odd number, next number will be x plus 2. The next odd number will be again x plus 2 and plus another 2, which is x plus 2 plus 2, that's plus 4. The next odd number, x plus 4, it will be x plus 6. Okay, so with that, when you want to find the sum, now the word sum will tell you that you are adding all 4 numbers together. Find the sum of these 4 consecutive odd numbers. So you should be adding them together. So the formula that you have, let's say I just call it S for the sum. This will basically be the first number x plus the second number x plus 2 plus the third number x plus 4 plus the fourth number x plus 6. Alright, so again, just remove the brackets, x plus 2 plus x plus 4. Again, I'm just going very detailed. You don't have to follow step by step. Most important, you're able to understand I have 4x here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives me the answer as 4x. I have another constants 2, 4, 6. If I add this up, that gives me the number 12. Right, so the formula for my sum of the 4 consecutive odd numbers, the answer for part 1 is basically, alright, equals to, as the sum is equals to 4x plus 12. Okay, so next, right, hence find the value of s when the greatest odd number is negative 17. Okay, so here, right, they are asking you if the greatest number is negative 17. So very simple. I mean, if it's negative 17, right? So what is the next odd number? I know if negative 17, right, is the greatest, right? Correct, is the greatest, and it basically represents this number, x plus 6. Okay, what does it tell you about the value of x? All right, so you are using the word s here. Okay, so of course some of you will think, oh, negative 17, therefore the smaller one, negative 19, negative 21, negative 23. This will be the 4 numbers. That's possible because, you know, it's so-called, I'm doing a plus 2, the smallest one, then I do a plus 2, then I do a plus 2, then I do a plus 2. So remember that when negative 17 is the greatest odd number, the next one after that should be two places smaller. Okay, this is the greatest. So on small, all 3 numbers should be smaller, and negative 19 is smaller by 2, negative 21 is smaller by 4, negative 23 is smaller by 6. Okay, but this is not using the hence method because you're just doing it from scratch. So what is the hence method? You know that basically, right, if based on the formula, if the greatest is negative 17, it means that negative 17 represents your x plus 6. And if you subtract 6 on both sides, okay, you subtract 6 on both sides, it means that your x is equals to negative 23. Okay, it's negative 23. Okay, what does it mean? It means that your smallest number, remember that the x represents the smallest number, that this x is equals to negative 23. So I'm just using the formula because negative 17, x plus 6 represent the biggest number. The smallest number will be negative 23, which is consistent to what we've been doing lah. Okay, so if I know that x is I know that the sum is actually in the form of 4x plus 12, right? We know that the sum is in the form of 4x plus 12, where my x is the smallest number, from the fact that negative 17 is the biggest number, I have showed you that my x is negative 23, and x, this is the smallest number. Just take note, based on what I defined, this is the smallest number. And with x as negative 23, I know that the sum with x as the smallest number, this sum is written as 4x plus 12, which is what you found earlier. With that, the value or the sum, you just need to substitute the x that you found, which is 4 multiplied to negative 23 plus 12. All right, using the calculator on your own working, you will get the answer of negative 80. Okay, can I know it's not an easy question, so do